Jason Moore Brown was deployed overseas 3 times just after 9/11 during the War on Terror.
There was constant fighting every day, and then it turned into the IEDs that everybody's familiar with, the roadside bombs. We lost 6 soldiers in our battalion.
His time in Iraq was particularly challenging.
We had one soldier that was part of my boss's security squad during the invasion. He committed suicide before we even left Iraq. And then a few months later, we had one of our company commanders committed suicide as well.
He soon realized that coming home didn't end the fighting. He'd gone from a battlefield overseas to a personal one here at home. He was diagnosed with PTSD and struggled with depression, sleeping, and communicating with loved ones, including his wife.
And then it would almost be like a light would turn off when we had our kids and stuff. It was almost like he couldn't experience like the true joy of it all, like he would stop himself, and that was really hard to see.
And he's certainly not alone. PTSD has claimed more lives by suicide than combat since 9/11. And in 2022, an average of 17 veterans died by suicide each day.
The roadside bombs and the combat experiences really was the guilt of, sending guys to do a mission and those guys not coming back. And I struggle with that guilt, still to this day.
That's when he learned about Heroic Hearts Project, a nonprofit connecting veterans with peer support and psychedelic therapy.
I've heard of psychedelics, but I had not heard of it as like a tool in the therapy toolbox.
In February 2023, he and several other veterans traveled to Peru for ayahuasca therapy, where that treatment is permitted. He credits it as one of the most beneficial things he's done since leaving the Army.
You could just tell that weight had been lifted off of him.
A study found that fewer than 10% of veterans see improvement with traditional medication, while about 80% report major or total relief after psychedelic treatment. An associate professor with the UC Davis Institute for Psychedelics and Neurotherapeutics says the substance can help the brain process trauma differently.
So plasticity is the ability of the brain to modify its connections and its circuitry in a way that normally is involved in learning and memory from a very broad perspective. And these psychedelics seem to enhance the ability of the brain to make these changes.
That's when his wife learned of the HOPE Project, a sister program providing psychedelic-assisted care for spouses experiencing secondary trauma. She, too, had a successful breakthrough with this treatment in Peru, and over 1,000 veterans and spouses are on the wait list. Brown Moore and other HHP vets just returned from our nation's capital, advocating for other vets to receive this treatment. Meanwhile, here in California, Governor Gavin Newsom just signed a new law that will launch a statewide research pilot study to explore whether substances like psilocybin could help people with PTSD and other mental health conditions. Veterans hope that one day they might not have to travel to another country to receive treatment for a war they fought on behalf of this country. Reporting in Placer County, covering local news that matters. Juliette Smith, Fox 40 News.